countdown: 145, 144, 43, 142.
Oh man,
Jamie's gonna mute me. Hey, listen, I had a lot of coffee, and this thing is I'm on my third or fourth mug, and it's a 40 ouncer. So,
jeez.
if the studies are correct that you live longer with a lot of coffee, I'm gonna be like eternal. I'll be like a vampire. I'll never die. Oh boy. Hey, listen, during this time of coronavirus, you come to us for levity and joy.
Exactly. And look at our beautiful faces on that picture while you're waiting for the countdown to finish from 1 minute.
Then I get back on my diet. That guy's looking thin on the left. Jesus.
You know, Scott, how come you didn't have sunglasses on?
Yeah, no, you took the picture of me, I guess.
You look like you know. You look like you're on it.
I like staring at the sun with sunglasses.
That's my favorite.
Wait, you guys are good detectives.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I clicked on our live stream. They can hear us bantering.
Good.
Did I say anything really bad? I hope not.
No.
I really don't care.
I got the censor button right here.
Do I really care? No, I don't.
Dump button.
Here we go.
Yeah. Last week you didn't even see me. So
should I change?
Yeah, Scott, you should definitely change your shirt again because I think we're at 3 or 4 times.
I like your prop in the background, Scott.
All right, guys, we're coming in a couple seconds.
Say we have a 5-second delay.
Yeah, at least.
Just started on not long enough to call home and turn around not to watch, but I think something really silly.
Yeah, here we are. Another Sunday night. Jamie Root here from T4 Survival, along with, we'll let Mike go next.
Mike Kahn.
Scott Allard.
Yeah, I like your prop, Scott. What you got?
Thank you.
What you got hanging over your shoulder?
You know, some toilet paper, no big deal. I also heard these are pretty popular too.
Q-tips.
When you don't have toilet paper.
Yeah. Not only can you do that, you can also take a sample and send it to the doctor. See?
But not at the same time.
No, not at the same time.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sunday night. Yeah, we can hear you.
Listen, just to warn everybody, with everything this craziness going on, we're gonna have a little bit more fun tonight. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. Because otherwise, I think we're all going to go a little crazy.
Absolutely. And if you guys want to add anything in the comments on one of our social media channels, if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, you can go ahead and put a comment down below, come across our screen, and we'll banter with you. We'll talk with you a little bit. And we also have some parts tonight that we're going to have some questions for you guys. So stick around for that. So coronavirus, guys. Tonight's theme, emergency preparedness, right? So how are things over there in Connecticut?
Well, you can't get toilet paper. You can't get soap. You can't get hand sanitizer. Well, and everything else. If you went to this grocery store last weekend, it was almost comical. I was at BJ's in Arlington, and you couldn't get canned tuna and pasta. It seemed random to me.
Right.
I mean, I get canned tuna because you could just throw it in the closet, and pasta, I get, it does have a long shelf life.
Right.
But really, that much?
Yeah.
Pallets were gone.
Yeah. Even up here in Maine, it's pretty crazy. They just closed down a bunch of the schools up here as well, so it's made its way up into the northeast. I know that we had banter over the past week or so that it wasn't up here, and now here we are with the cases coming up and moving up. But all the ski slopes have closed down too. I saw a news alert earlier in New Hampshire shut down their ski slopes, and a friend of mine that was going out to Vail, Colorado, said that Vail's closed too. So complete shutdown. Disney's closed, Universal's closed. A lot going on, guys. So hopefully we can bring some levity into everything that's going on in your lives right now, people. Thanks for joining us tonight. What I guess we're going to start off with is a little video clip here, and kind of adds to the humor behind Scott's chair. So let's play this little clip here. Here we go.
Gotta put it in there.
It's probably like $10, like a $10 clause or something.
Someone's got it.
Toilet trolls.
Someone's got a good thing going on.
Man. And people they're putting money in for it. Like, it's a gimmick. I don't know if they really need the toilet paper, but they're like, hey, let's play the game. This is kind of funny. So they're making this person rich. Look at that.
I'm online now shopping to get one of those machines rented.
Now, here's the next question. Is that single ply or double ply? Because that's big.
Yeah, that would make a big difference in the cost of how much coin you would put in. Oh, he got 4 rolls.
He's good with that cloth.
Those are his toilet rolls to begin with.
Oh my God. Did you read the bottom there? It said that someone traveled 68 miles.
Yeah, that's pretty desperate. There are alternatives to the traditional toilet paper. I mean, the running joke I saw now, the best one was you have that don't have a pair.
Yeah.
I saw one that had duct tape and it said wipe and wax.
Oh.
I thought that was a good one.
Oh, that's brutal.
For those of you who are watching, let us know. Have you run out of toilet paper? Are you in need of toilet paper at all? Let us know. Put them in the comments below. Tell us if you're having any issues with keeping your hiney clean.
And everybody who signs up for a seminar was going to get a sheet of toilet paper with your enrollment.
Oh, that's fantastic! I like that idea.
Instead of food banks, they're going to have toilet paper banks instead.
Yeah, we're laughing, and then we're going to run out of toilet paper and not know where to get any.
Yeah, right. But
perfect.
Yeah, we have other options, so I'm not that concerned about it. Yeah, and if you're buying Charmin, right? Charmin Clean, your hiney's clean. Isn't that the commercial? I actually saw a clip on a meme of who's really behind the coronavirus, and it shows a guy with a mask, and you pull the mask off, and it's the Charmin teddy bear, Charmin Clean.
The bear?
Yeah,
yes,
sitting in there.
But the best brand is Scott's. So,
of course.
I wonder why.
Oh.
I have no kickbacks from that. There's no kickbacks. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But it kind of puts us into our question tonight. Was that a nice segue?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
That was good.
All right. Well, I guess we could do is let's see. Let's go into a different frame here. So here's the question that we had for you guys. If you had to purchase one emergency item, and that emergency item had to start with the first letter of your first name, what would that emergency item be? What would you pick,
Mike? Saw.
A saw?
Saw. Squad automated weapon.
Is it bad? The first thing I thought of was munitions.
Munitions? I expected that out of you. Jay, I don't know. I was thinking I'll go on the other end because it's emergency preparedness, right? So maybe Jack Daniels?
Hey, Scotch.
Oh. What are we going to go with for M?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Miller Lite.
Johnny Walker. Just put the M silent in that.
Oh, okay.
It's French.
Yeah. For the three of us that don't really drink, right? Trying to come up with ideas for alcohol names, right? This fits well. So,
What a scarf.
yeah, that could work too. Hey, what's hanging over your shoulder there, Mike? Is that a rectal thermometer?
Yes. Yeah, it's from ancient times.
Do you need some of this to put on that?
Yeah.
I want you to cut yourself.
You would if you used that thermometer.
I guess you can use anything as a thermometer once, right?
Let's move off the topic really quick.
Wow. This one right down the toilet quick.
You could take that on the road,
Oh, man. All right, so let's play the emergency preparedness clip. I don't know if you guys watch Big Bang Theory. I never really watched it. I haven't seen it much, but I found this clip this past week. I thought it was relevant to what's going on here. So let's play a little bit of this clip here and let the audience see it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it a little bit. So here's a clip from the Big Bang Theory. The theme here is emergency preparedness, right?
What the hell?
Emergency preparedness drill.
Oh, no, come on.
You know how it works. Once a quarter, keep our readiness up. Now, rise and shine, sleepyhead. Half the town is probably dead.
I have to get a lock for my door.
I think you'll like the drill tonight. I've tried to make it fun. Each of these cards contains a detailed scenario of a possible apocalyptic event. Everything from wildfires to a surprise invasion by Canada. Pick a catastrophe, any catastrophe.
Sheldon, Canada is not going to invade California.
You really? You think those hippies in Washington and Oregon can stop them?
Fine.
Well, it's pretty funny. I think we should do that during our camp. I think that would be funny to bust into some of their...
I'm sure everybody would love it. We wake them up at 3 a.m. It's a drill.
Emergency preparedness drill. Yeah. Fully armed individuals.
You know what? Let's do this. You guys can do that. I'll be asleep.
Don't worry. I'll be sleeping too at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I thought that was pretty funny with everything that's going on nowadays. And, Mike, you sent me this thing earlier too. Let me bring this up onto the screen. And I didn't think it was true until you actually showed it to me. Let me bring this up. CDC, zombie apocalypse preparedness plan, right? Get a kit, make a plan, be prepared. This is a real deal. I couldn't believe that.
Well, it's entertaining. I mean, that's why they did it. And it catches your attention. And the reality is, if you prepare for a disaster, it can be really, the basics are really good for everything.
Right.
You have some food, water, your medications, your important documents you can grab and go if you needed to.
Right.
But, it goes across them all. And if they said to you, a hurricane survival kit or preparedness kit,
right,
it's not as catchy as zombie apocalypse,
right,
especially with all the media and the entertainment industry that has so much of it, last 15 years, last decade.
Right. So here brings us to our next question, right? If you can only buy emergency items with the start of your first letter, first name we had, what would you buy? Now, we've already come up with some ideas, but I'd like to hear from some of our viewers. So if you're watching this live stream now, I want you to pick an emergency item that starts with the first letter of your first name and what would you buy. Put it in the comments below on whatever social media platform you're watching us on, and let us know exactly what you would purchase as an emergency item. So guys, something that I'm curious about is with everything that is going on, the school's closing, and a lot of areas to have amusement, right, are closing down. What's going on with the movie theaters? Have you heard anything about the movie theaters?
No, actually, I haven't. I was just wondering about that today. With everybody out of school, think about it. When there's a holiday or a vacation during the school year, people go. They go to the movies.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be interesting because the social distancing everybody's trying to do, even with the newer seats in these theaters, you're not that far away from each other.
No, you're not. And the question is, will people actually, not go out to the movies? Will they actually practice the social distancing and try to help the spread, or are they going to say, "Hey, I got the week off from school. Let's get my buddies together and let's go to the movie theater, or let's go to the go in the center of town and hang out someplace, right? And that kind of defeats the whole purpose of what's going on here.
Well, I know my father-in-law works for bowling alleys, and he says they're losing about $30,000 because nobody's going.
Right.
So I'm assuming the movie theaters are not too far behind that.
Yeah, I'd be curious on that as well. And what about the malls? Have you heard anything about West Farms and the Berlin Mall?
That's another huge question. What are they doing with the malls? Are they going to keep them open so people can go there?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, there isn't really essential items necessarily at the mall. I could see the grocery stores needing to stay open, right?
Right.
But
I think most people are just stay home and order from home, Amazon or whatever.
Right.
I think they're just going to do that.
Well, I just saw
I think the malls today are just mostly for hangouts anyway.
Yeah.
I was there a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, everybody's hanging out.
I don't remember who the last news clip that just came through, but it was I remember it was New York or maybe it was somewhere in Connecticut that they are telling all restaurants to shut down as of 9 p.m. tonight. Oh, no, it was Ohio. It was Ohio because we read it before we came online with our live stream. Ohio has officially, as of 9 p.m. tonight, told all restaurants to shut down. They could do takeout service. They could do delivery service, but no bars or restaurants are allowed open in Ohio. Mm-hmm. So I guess they're really trying to enforce that distancing there.
Look at everything got going on. You can order out almost anything you need, have delivered to you.
Right.
A lot of the restaurants are they're being smart. There's a couple of restaurants around here that are doing delivery within a 10-mile radius of the restaurant.
Right.
People still want to support them, but they're also not willing to put themselves at risk. So if you're a smart restaurant owner, go for it. I think it's a smart idea.
Right. Right. And,
with the whole hanging out and keeping the kids busy, the weather the last couple of days has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And do something outside. You don't have to be on top of each other. I mean, you can at least get them out in the yard. You can go, just go ride your bikes. I'm not a doctor, but at the same token, my kids, I kick them out of the house.
The CDC actually said being outdoors is a good thing, breathing the fresh air, and it's not as contractable indoors, or I should say outdoors, as it is indoors. So it was actually recommended to spend some time outside, and not to mention that the sun gives you vitamins, right? And being in the sun is good for you and for your health. So pumping up the vitamin C, vitamin D, getting out into the sun could all be a good thing for everyone.
Mm-hmm. There would be a lot of amazing yards come the spring. Or come summer. Just think about it. Nobody wants to go do anything, but they're going to be cleaning up that yard.
Yeah, absolutely.
All afternoon.
So here's the concern that we talked about, guys, is some of the states are actually putting the ban on sales of ammunition. And one of the first that we saw was Illinois, right? Putting a ban on purchasing ammunition. And Mike, you and I and Scott, when we had our conference call, I think it was yesterday, we talked about Katrina and what happened during Katrina, that they did gun confiscation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
when it was real bad down in Katrina, they were confiscating firearms.
Yeah.
And the question we had when we were talking is, did everybody get those firearms back?
Yeah.
And comment to them was, I could just imagine the nightmare paperwork, how things were getting lost.
Right.
And not maliciously, but it's a disaster. Literally, it was a disaster. Then here's your receipt. Good luck keeping that.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I
think there's more important things to focus on in a real disaster, and that kind of thing, in my personal opinion, is at the bottom of the list. Unless it's a felon or somebody who's dangerous or behaving in a manner that's a threat to themselves or others. Beyond that, I mean, what was the point?
Yeah.
People, I get it. In a real bad situation, you may be tempted to use that weapon because you feel you need to, take from other people. But truly good people aren't going to go down that road. Yeah. Unless then you take that weapon from them if they're not a problem and they haven't caused a problem. They're not threatening anybody. They're prepared for this disaster, and you're leaving them unprotected or during Katrina, what are you going to do? Call 911 for help?
Not going to come. Yeah. Right. You're kind of on your own to fend for yourself. I think that was part of the important conversation of having of how where's this going to go, right? And is all this hype about the coronavirus and the concern obviously for health, but bigger concern for me is social disorder, right? After you start going a few days without any of the bare necessities, or people start thinking about things aren't going their way, whether they are, let's talk about mental illness, right? Or let's talk about people that aren't functioning on the way that they should in their thought process, start freaking out, right? And then you have issues, or you even have people that are in poverty that don't have much as it is, and this is just going to put extra strain on the family and their necessities, right?
Yeah.
So
you have something, I want it, they're going to take it.
You
that type of mentality is what's going to happen.
Which in a lot of areas, that's already a mentality. So you go into some of these inner cities, and you're a resource if you have something that they want. And now you're coming into even more dangerous territory. So I think it's important for everyone to just keep a head on a swivel, keep your wits about yourself, keep calm, cool, collected, and but be aware of things that are going on around you, and keep yourself safe as possible. But I think the biggest thing is keep a level head, right? Think things through.
Yeah.
It's not worth getting into a fist fight over. Look at that one video. It was overseas. Somebody got stabbed while fighting over toilet paper.
Right.
Or was it water or something? But it was the shelves were stocked.
Right.
Okay, if you're going to get stabbed over toilet paper, are you kidding me?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
and I get it. You don't want to be taken advantage of or being victimized, but when it's a piece of property like that, and it doesn't make any sense to fight for it.
No, you're absolutely right. So keeping that level head is going to be extremely important during these days, and it's probably going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. But if everyone kind of keeps their coolness and purchases only what they need at the stores, I think we'll get through this pretty darn fine, right? And watch out for your neighbors.
You want to see people really freak out?
Bah.
No internet access.
No internet.
And being stuck at home with your family. People lose their minds.
That'd be bad.
No social media.
The perfect.
The biggest concern was not being able to watch your live stream.
I know. That would be a total disaster.
What were you going to say, Scott?
Someone said it best. I don't know who said it, but they said there's no reason to freak out. Just be informed.
Yeah.
No need to go crazy. Just be informed.
Right.
Be informed of what's going on, what you need, the stuff you need. If you don't, you have 400 rolls of toilet paper downstairs, don't go to Costco and buy 500 more rolls. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Save for somebody else, but just stay informed.
Yeah.
Just watch the news or whatever you're doing, whatever you're getting your information from.
Absolutely.
Stay informed.
Hey guys, don't forget the question of the night is if you had to purchase an emergency item for yourself, and the first thing you were going to buy, it has to start with the first letter of your first name. What would that purchase be? What exactly would it be? See? So if you had to buy an emergency item, start with the first letter of your first name. What do you buy with that letter? Put it in the comments below. Let us know what you would purchase. We may feature it here on our live stream. We appreciate you guys for joining us.
Okay, enough of the coronavirus. Let's move on.
All right. We're going to talk about our tactical.
Why would you buy this item of the week?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Hey, we have a little drum roll. Let me see if I have a drum roll. I'll just do a party noisemaker. Here we go. Here it comes. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Everybody needs one of those.
Come on. Listen, I've seen this a couple times actually in real life. Not anybody using it, but I mean in the store for purchase.
Wow.
What really? What are you doing with this?
Wow.
Don't you think the muzzle of the gun's going to be bad enough?
Yeah.
You really need to add a knife.
This one, and then the one that comes out of the base plate of the magazine. So when you have a malfunction, you're going to go tap and rack that thing?
Right.
You tap. But this is ridiculous. Come on.
Because it's so ingrained in our head to do a tap rack that we're going to forget about the 7-inch blade that's coming off the magazine.
This is the thing. You got people that can't holster or don't practice holstering, and then they're like stabbing themselves or something.
Yeah.
If they have a holster for this gun with it on there.
Right.
I don't know. I think we get carried away with some of the gear that's out there.
As long as you paint, as long as
Obviously, there's a market that people are buying it. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it.
you paint it black and put Tactical on it, it is so cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Would you guys purchase this? Tell us if you're watching this live stream right now. Is this something that you would actually invest your money into and purchase and think was cool? And what would you do with
Smith
it?
and Wesson, no.
Yeah.
It's
Smith and Wesson, no.
Cool.
Well, it's fitting with Smith and Wesson. It wouldn't go on a Glock.
And then Pete, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. No.
I've got other stuff.
Listen.
Wait, I have stuff lined up for the next year of shows.
Listen, there's a Glock on that same page with a stupid long blade on it.
No,
Keep looking. Oh yeah.
I don't
yeah.
believe it. No.
All right, I was torn between nominating this for the show tonight and that rifle stock that has a cavity that'll drop out a handgun if you want. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was torn.
David says no, he would never purchase it, but I bet he had a real badass looking holster if he did have that, though.
Now here's the question: can we get a holster made for that?
Yeah.
Waiting for
Yeah, the blade's gonna stick right out of it, right into your leg. You're gonna stab me.
No. We'll get one custom from Kydex Holster Solutions.
Absolutely. Oh, here it is. I've got the.
He might refuse to make it though.
All right, I'm gonna have to add this into our stream, guys. Here we go, because we brought it up, and I think it's important for all of our viewers to be able to see this outstanding piece of work right here. So let's see where is that.
Oh boy!
And here we go. Oh,
There it is.
There it is.
Back, baby.
That's what we were talking about with, David, but fitting for a Smith and Wesson.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so like we're talking, you do a malfunction drill, you tap, which you slam your hand on the bottom of the magazine, and when you train that over and over and over, you forget that it's hanging out of the bottom and you stab yourself.
That's a Beretta, by the way.
Somebody's gonna stab themselves with that thing.
I think he was answering the question from 20 seconds ago about the a fitting for the bayonet. I don't think it was about the mag. That's
what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He likes to talk a lot of smack, you know.
Well,
he's
allowed to.
We know.
He's allowed to puff that chest out. He's a Glock man. Someday, yes, it's coming soon, right?
We'll take a collab because you'll never do it. We'll have to get one for you.
My birthday's in May, so feel free.
Oh, is that what you're waiting for?
Yes.
All right.
Every year I wait for that.
Waiting a long time, buddy.
I've been waiting since 5 years.
Oh, come on. So I have one other one I'm going to put up on the screen here because I think that this is going to be a good something that everybody's going to want to talk about, and it's kind of fitting with the CDC post that we put up, and it's on that same page.
Somebody's a chainsaw.
Oh yes.
This is exciting.
Yeah, it is. Here, let me bring this over. And here we go. And ladies and gentlemen, there it is.
Yeah. Because I need a rail attached chainsaw for the front of my rifle.
Hey, I wonder if Kydex could build a holster for that.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I want to take that off and put it on. I don't know.
That'd be more of a chest rig.
Yeah. Oh, that's ridiculous.
You never know when you're chopping wood and you see a Sasquatch. You never know. You might need it.
Guys, would you purchase any of these items? Let us know in the comments. So we have the zombie chainsaw item here. Let's see, what's our other one? We've got the
bayonet and then the magazine knife.
The magazine knife, right? And here's our last one here.
You know what they need to do? Take the one that comes out of the magazine and the bayonet and use them together.
Oh, there you go, coming out both ends.
Oh, there you go.
But make sure you paint that other one black or have it,
Oh, yeah, so it fits a little more. So this one here?
It'd be totally tactical.
Yeah, that blade definitely has to be black.
now it's
And
tactical.
you got to put a skull on it. Put a skull on it. It'd be great.
Kydex Holster
Right by.
Solution says, "Sure, we can. Let's do it."
All right.
That's funny.
I'd like to see that.
Absolutely. Guys, if you have any questions for us while you're on the live stream, feel free to ask us questions, anything self-defense related, emergency preparedness related. One other question we want to go over is if you had to pick one item, emergency medical item, that you would carry on your person, and some of us carry stuff all the time, what would that one item be? So, Scott, one item, it has to be emergency medical, to carry on your person at all times.
Hold on, though. All right. Can we just say that you're going to have gloves regardless?
Okay.
And then we get an item other than that.
All right, other than gloves. So gloves are not included.
Gloves are already something you're carrying as in your pocket or whatever.
Right.
Does it have to start with my first initial?
No. Thankfully, it doesn't, right? And by the way, if you're not carrying gloves, start carrying gloves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back to Old Faithful. I'm probably gonna have a tourniquet on me. I'm gonna carry that with me. You know, I see that type of thing happening more than something else.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna go with the tourniquet.
Mike?
Yeah, there's really not much else. If you had to pick one item other than gloves, because if it's a family member or somebody close to me, I'm going to risk it if I don't have gloves.
Yeah.
But if it's an unknown, I mean, more hesitant.
Right.
But definitely a tourniquet. You got to have a tourniquet.
Yeah. If you guys, I know I would pick a tourniquet. That was going to be my choice too. So we got tourniquets across the board. But if you're watching this live stream,
this is a boring question.
No, because I'm curious what other people have.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm going into what do you have in a go bag? So you carry a tourniquet on your body, but what is the purpose of a go bag? What items would you put into a go bag? Because a lot of people are sending messages over saying, hey, what's an emergency preparedness kit? What should I have in it? Right? So carry a tourniquet and gloves on yourself.
I think a go bag versus, I think that you got to look at the definition of what you're talking about. A go bag, it's for a disaster. You have some basic medical stuff. You got your quick clot tourniquet, gloves, your some medications that you need, some of your personal documents. That's you grab and go. That's I have to get out of town because something bad, fire, flooding, whatever, or a really bad storm.
Right.
Now you're talking a blowout kit. That's a totally different story.
No,
blowout kit's the damage control.
I would say not a blowout kit. I think a go bag. So you got to grab your bag. You got to head out for the family for whatever reason. You got to vacate your house. You got to get out of an area. What's going to be inside of your go bag? Now you mentioned a bunch of things: tourniquet, right? Bandages, packing wounds.
Go bag. I got a blowout kit or an IFAC in my go bag.
Right.
So you're going to have all that on top of it.
But that's you as a law enforcement officer. What about all the civilians watching? How would they build their own kit?
Yeah, you can purchase Quick Clot online.
Yep.
You can go to Amazon, purchase it on Amazon. I throw a Cat 7 at minimum, a Cat 7 tourniquet in there.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of those. I would. The smart thing to do is have a minimum one per each member of your family.
Mm-hmm.
What people do, the other people would suggest is you have one or four for each person.
Right.
God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little excessive, but maybe one for each.
Mm-hmm.
You get some gauze and some of the basics.
Right.
A chest seal, set of chest seals, nasal pharyngeal airway. Trying to think what else
Flashlight.
do you want to throw in?
Flashlight. Knife.
Flashlight, and not to be stupid, but a cell phone charger.
No, it's not stupid at all. Having and actually a power cell, so you could power any type of device, I think would be important to put inside that kit. But a light source, a knife, or I would probably even go to say a Leatherman, right? Something that would be a multi-use type of tool, or a small toolkit. I think would be important to have inside there. Some type of instrument for starting a fire, right? Who knows what you're vacating for, or where you're going, but it's always good to have maybe a lighter, a butane lighter. Those little, what are they called, guys? The little silver ones, Zippos, right? Those are can create a little bit of a heat source if you ever needed an emergency as well. And a lot of them you can purchase that are windproof, so that's a great way to have that. Make sure it's filled. but the butane can actually evaporate out over time on those. So I've known people have those inside their bags, and then they go to deploy them, and it doesn't fire up. So having some type of fuel source.
The $2 big lighters are great.
They work. Yeah, absolutely.
Those seem to not, those don't run out unless you're using them usually.
Right.
Like the Zippo isn't sealed like the big lighter is.
Right. Yep.
The contents of a bag like that really depend on time of year, location, what you're preparing for.
Right.
I think, because we can get carried, we can keep going, roll of toilet paper, high energy food items,
right.
Like camping, like some of the camping foods or the
MREs,
gels, MREs. Even I mean, you can go crazy. You can build up a go bag that's 60 pounds and you can't even carry the thing.
Yeah.
So it's got to be realistic in what you have and what you need,
right.
And what's going on. I think you can't just make a bag. It was a good point. Waterproof matches, they work great.
Yeah.
The post on our feed here. You can't make a bag and never look at it again. Every maybe once a year or twice a year when the weather changes. When the time, the daylight savings, you change your batteries and your smoke detectors. Check the batteries in the bag.
Right.
Check the batteries in the flashlight. Is everything in there charged?
Yeah.
It's something you have to revisit. You just can't, say, okay, it's good and never look at it again.
Yeah. The other thing, if we're talking about emergency preparedness, I mean, we obviously knew that this was coming down the pike for the past week or two. But if there was a natural disaster that came on quicker that you didn't expect, I think it's always important to keep a full tank of gas. Right? Because if you had a major blackout, power outage, EMP, or some type of something that happened where it was you had to get out of Dodge really quick or go a distance, having a full tank of gas is important. So not running the car on empty and making sure it's filled as much as possible. I know people that won't let it go beyond 3/4 of a tank. That might be a little hard, but they're always keeping it filled.
Half a tank's not a bad idea. See it hit half a tank. Nothing to say you can't get gas. I think 3/4. That's you're going to get a lot. You're at the gas station a lot.
Oh yeah, he is absolutely. That it's just that mindset of always making sure it's full tank of gas.
If it hits the fan, he's going to be a lot better off than I am when I'm at a 1/4 tank of gas. Going, I got to go soon.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but doesn't mean 100% of the time I follow that. Because I get lazy, and it's easy to get lazy. It's easy not to get in that bag. It's easy not to talk to your family and say, okay, if there is a natural disaster of some type, man-made or Mother Nature, we can't get back to each other. Where do we go?
Right.
That's that. I think that's even more important than a go bag is what are we going to do
and how are you going to communicate?
And nobody talks about it.
Right.
Until it happens, or after, we should have had a plan.
No.
You don't, you don't have to go crazy planning, but a loose plan is better than no plan.
Right. And the plan should be that you may not have communication options. So you may not be able to call each other or text each other. So you have to have rally points and places of meeting of where you're going to go and what's everyone's job and responsibility if you are separated and something was to happen. And we always talk about 2 rally points, one semi close to the home and another one that might be a little bit further of a distance. And we talk about this in our active shooter or counterterrorism seminars as well about the different rally points when you're out places. But at least have a home plan, right, of where the options are, where you're going to go, where you're going to meet up, and get in touch with your family members. I think it's very important. Tell us if you have a family plan. If you're watching the live stream now, put them in the comments. Let us know if you've already designated a plan with your family and told them exactly how to respond and what to do in a situation. I think it's important that these conversations happen before the disaster happens or before it's time to implement the plan, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
What other items would you guys put inside of a bag if you only had 24 hours? You had to you're going to be away and you had to put stuff inside of a bag. I think something else that would be important to get in there is water, right?
Or water, some purification method.
Yeah. So that way, if you didn't have access to bottled water, I actually had someone today talking about, buying bottled water at the store and need to stop and get some before they went home. And I said, oh, don't you use water from the faucet? And they said, oh, yeah, but it's city water. I don't really like to drink it. I said, well, what happens if you run out of bottled water at the store? And my suggestion was to get some type of the pure water filters or some type of water filtration system that you could pour the tap water into if you needed to and pour out of. But even more important would be a higher filtration system. They have those little straws, guys, the survival straws, where you can put that into basically anything. It's supposed to filter out all the contaminants, and you should be able to.
Even those systems, they have a larger ones for like the family use.
Yeah.
And you just you fill the reservoir and it'll gravity feed down.
Right.
So I mean, there's a solution out there for everything.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and invest and kind of explore and educate yourself on it.
And now we just talked about them. It's going to be over our Facebook and Amazon feeds anyway. We're going to get special offers for pure filters and gravity-fed water filters for the family now, because everything's listening to us, right? All right, guys. So I appreciate everyone joining us today for our live stream. If you have any questions for us, we're going to be ending in a few minutes here. I know we have a lot of questions about our upcoming seminars and training events, and everything is still on track for our seminars. If that changes, we're going to let you know. You can keep in touch with our social media channels, or if you're in our email database, you'll be getting emails from us as well. The camp is still on. We're secluded up here in the Northwoods of Maine for May, so if you're interested in coming up and training with us and getting away from it all for a little bit, and giving yourself some time to train with your firearm and to be able to get away, I guess, for a little bit of a period of time, let us know. Look us up.
So that and talk about social spacing. There's not a lot of people where we go.
Yeah, there's more moose than people.
Our camp are small. We have a small group of people we work with in the camp,
right?
And you can't get a nicer environment.
No.
March 28th are mega seminars, or a day of mega seminar, whatever you want to call it. Like Jamie said, we're reevaluating daily. We're looking at what's going on, and as of right now, we're still a go.
Right. Absolutely. So keep in touch with us about those upcoming events, and we'll let you know if something changes. And as for classes going on in Cheshire, everything is still status quo. We're still moving forward with all of our classes. Nothing has changed on that front either. So if you are interested in participating in our trial program or coming into the Cheshire location and participating in class, send us an email, look us up on the website. You can also book the trial program online through our website as well. If anything changes, we also have already started creating a video library where you'll be able to get online content from us and participate in Krav Maga classes and in some webinars that we're going to be offering to members as well. So we've got you covered either way. We appreciate you guys joining us today and being part of the live stream. Again, if you have any questions, you're watching this afterwards when we're not live, feel free to put comments down below. Ask us questions, or you can always go to our website, t4survival.com, and right from there you can start a chat with one of us or ask us any questions from there as well. Anything you guys want to add before we disconnect?
Yeah, we also, even when this is going on, we still have the ability to offer you private instruction, firearms tactics, self-defense, the whole 9 yards. So that's still going on.
Yeah.
And if you want to avoid the classroom setting and you just want that private, good high ratio instructor to student ratio, that's available.
Yeah, absolutely. Send us a message and let us know you're interested in booking a private, whether it's at a firearm training and we take you out to the range, or you come into one of the training centers and we do some work with you one-on-one. We love to have the opportunity. So give us a call or shoot us a message and let us know. We'll start the dialogue and see what we can do to help you out. Anything else you want to add, Scott or Mike?
No, just stay informed with what's going on around you.
Yeah, keep a cool head. Stay calm, cool, collected out there, everyone. And again, if you're watching this stream afterwards, feel free to put any comments or questions that you have in the comments on our social media channels, or you can always go to our website and start a chat. I'm Jamie from T4 Survival. Remember T4 Survival, training for surviving the fight of your life. We'll see you soon, right, Mike?
Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night, guys. We're going to leave you with the video montage of our camp. Have a good night, guys. Be safe.
I want to get there. They can't become soon enough.
They can hear us banter while we're watching the video.
Good.
Yeah, look at that.
Had all the entertainment from the
Hey,
beginning.
what's going on with that?
Oh,
That truck that looks
Stereo.
like it got blown up.
that
I
was
know, but I know where all the rubber red guns are. I know where they are.
How's that van look now?
Yeah, that was good. I actually saw it the other day. It's in the Jones parking lot. Came back to life.
I remember that was funny.
Wow.
Oh man.
Jeez Louise. What's that
the
T4?
relay where they hug the target instead.
Oh, what happened there?
Who turned the lights off?
Oh.
And
All right, guys. Thanks for joining the live stream. T4 Survival out.